I've got to say, I do feel a little bit betrayed by my fringe at the moment because it's just not doing what I want it to. I think it's trying to subtly tell me that it needs a cut and it's not cooperating with me as some sort of protest. But anyway, today is a Top 5 Wednesday and the topic is books and characters that you felt betrayed by. So I had to have a little bit of a think about it, but I have come up with 4 books and 1 character that I felt really betrayed by. So I'm going to start with the character I felt most betrayed by, and that is Anastasia Steele from the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. Now, I've only read the first book in this series because I just couldn't get past the terribleness of it. But for the first couple of chapters of 50 Shades of Grey, I was really getting into Anna as a character. She is in her last year of an English literature degree. She wants to go on to be a journalist. And I just saw so much of myself in her. And then she went and did the ridiculous thing of getting into a weird, bizarre, abusive sexual relationship with Christian Grey. And I was just so frustrated with her because I wanted her to have a little bit more self-respect, a little bit more assertion, a little bit more overall intelligence, I guess. So yeah, I did feel really, really betrayed by her. A book that I felt really betrayed by is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. And when I read this maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, I went into it with everyone saying, oh, it's really creepy, it's really weird, it's really unique. And I went into it as a horror lover, as a thriller lover, and I wanted this book to affect me in a massive way. I wanted to have a big reaction to it. And it's a pretty big book, and it did take me forever to get through because I just found it so boring. It was really confusing and I had no idea what was going on, and I know that's what this book is supposed to do, but it meant that I couldn't deal with it in a bad way, and it really meant that I didn't enjoy the book at all. I may reread this book at some point if I ever get my hands on a copy again, but it took me forever to get through, and I wanted a much better reaction to it than I got. So yeah, I did feel betrayed by it because there was so much good stuff said about it before I went into it, and I just really didn't like it. A book that you guys will know that I felt betrayed by is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. This is of course the last book in the Hunger Games trilogy. I even said it in a very recent video how much more I wanted for Katniss out of this book. I wanted her to have this moment when she would realise that she would be better off on her own, that she could go off and do amazing things with her life instead of living the life that she has settled for in this book. And I was really, really frustrated. I felt really betrayed by Suzanne Collins for this book in general because I had been really enjoying the Hunger Games trilogy up until this point. So yeah, I did feel really betrayed by Mockingjay. Another book that I felt really betrayed by was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. And the reason I felt betrayed by this was because the concept of this book was amazing. This book is basically about the people who aren't the chosen ones. So there's always chosen ones in particularly YA fantasies and often adult fantasies as well. And this book was supposedly about the stories of the people who are just trying to live their lives around all of the chaos that the chosen ones are dealing with. And I was really excited about that concept to go into this. And it just was a really mundane YA contemporary story with some added little bits of fantasy, some little glimpses into what the chosen ones are actually dealing with. And I just wanted so much more from it. I think that a lot more could have been done with it. And it pains me to say it because I do really love Patrick Ness. And Monster Calls is one of my favourite books. I really loved More Than This as well. I haven't read his Chaos Walking trilogy, but that's on my radar to get to at some point because I know a lot of people enjoy that. But yeah, I just wanted so much more from this book than what I got, and that's why I felt betrayed by it. And the last book that I felt betrayed by was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and this book had so much hype just before it was about to come out a few years ago. Everyone was saying, oh, it's this really cool new YA fantasy with ancient Rome inspiration. I was like, okay, that sounds really cool. And then the cover reveal came out and it was this gorgeous gold and dark, mysterious covers. It's like, oh my god, it's gorgeous. And then I read it and I was just like, oh, it's really not original. I could have done with so much more world building, so much more character development. And it was just so disappointing for me. I know a lot of people did really love this book, so it is a personal opinion, but I just really, really didn't like it. And what's even worse, actually, and I do hate myself a little bit for this, is that I do actually have the sequel, A Torch Against the Night, because it's so, so pretty. I absolutely adore these covers, and they sit together nicely on my shelf like that. They're a kind of ornamental series. There's probably going to be another one, because YA fantasies tend to come in at least threes nowadays. So yeah, I feel like they're a series that I may collect because of how stunning they look, and they may be kind of like little ornament things on my shelf, but I'm probably never going to read this book, to be honest, because I was just so disappointed with the first one. I didn't connect with the characters. I just didn't care about them enough to carry on. So yeah. And that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. What books or characters did you feel most betrayed by? Let me know in the comments down below. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.